What's up, guys? It's your only friend here. It's your spiritual friend here, Jin, and I have a story for you guys. It's about following your nervous system, following your inner child. And this story is about that I'm here, in beautiful Addis. Amazing, right? And I'm just walking. It's my first day. I'm walking here, and somebody just approaches me. Straight off, he just approaches me. And he's like, hey, I'm happy to see you. I'm the security guard. Fortunate to see you. I operate with the CCTV footages, all those kind of things. And I'm just, again, like I'm in a state of shock, a little bit of shock, because it's rarely that I get approached like that. Like somebody kind of like have followed me and known me. But I'm like, okay. And he seems very kind, and I looked at him, and it's my mistake, like I try to believe the best in people, so, and he also he reminded me of somebody like my good uncle back home. That didn't really help either. So he's extremely happy, and it's like, yeah, I'm the security guard, blah blah, and he talks, and then this thing happens. That okay, mind you, if you're in Ethiopia, then mind you this, right? So he says to me, like, there's a graduation party going on, there's a lot of students celebrating and stuff like that, and you want to come and see? I'm like, yeah, okay. Is it in a university? And then I'm like, yeah. He's like, yes, it is in a university or something. He can't insinuate that it is. And yeah, I'm like, okay, cool, let's go, and we talk, and I really believe that he's a good guy, but I shouldn't. I should have just be critical of this. So what happens there? Like, he ended up taking me to this place, even though it's a uni, like he says that it's a uni. He takes me into this place. It's in a cafe area, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's a smaller celebration. Maybe he has to meet someone there. Maybe I need to drink a mint tea or something like that before going to the actual celebration. So we go into this area, mint area, what is it, the cafe area, right? And then we go past it, and then he opens up a door, and like, okay, maybe it's another entrance, He opens up the door, and it is filled with what is it? It is just filled with like sofas and tables and all those kind of things, And then as soon as I enter in, I can just feel on the energy, okay, something is really wrong. There's 5 girls coming out. They start dancing. And they're dead in the eyes, They're super, super dead in the eyes. That is what I realized. I could feel it on the energy, They're not even happy. It's not like they're willing to dance. It's like they just do it for business, right? And then they also like kind of shake my hand in a bit aggressive way, and like, hey, you want water? You want this? You want something to eat? Like offering me all these things, but I can just feel it doesn't come from a genuine place, It comes from a place where they just want to exploit me. Come from a place where you just want to exploit me. And yeah, so immediately I see the payment phone. I see that there's a hallway looking pretty dodgy as well. And I could just kind of like put one and one together, okay. This is not a good place to be. I feel really uncomfortable, and then immediately after some few seconds, I'm like heading out of here. I'm just like, hey, my friend is calling me. I need to go. And then I go, and then the guy is like, he can tell that I feel uncomfortable, and kid you not, of course I feel uncomfortable, But it was a big learning lesson. I avoided, I dodged a bullet there. And why? So now I'm going into the spiritual subject of it, because after that I got very thankful. I was very thankful that I listened to my nervous system. I listened to my inner child. that wanted to protect me. And people call it common sense, you know, like, yeah, of course, you know, like it's important to have your common sense. It's also important to be able to feel what is going on, you know, feel that, you know, okay, are you in a safe place, not in a safe place, what is going on? It's important to feel what is going on. Because I kid you not, no, a few years ago I would be more in a state of numbness. I would be freezing, you know. I'd be in a state of like I would just freeze. Why? Because this situation was I was so taken away from it, you know, that I would just freeze. I would not be able to react. And there was one particular story where it really went, you know, it was a wake-up call. I froze like multiple times, and then from there on, I consulted my own tribe, my best friends, and we were like, okay, we need to work on this, you know. And I was like, I need to work on this numbness. I need to work on this thing where you freeze and you cannot react. You're just frozen because of multiple things, you know, like maybe a guy come up to you, and like in my case, a guy come up to me and like, hey, I know you, blah, 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 and then you just freeze. Or it can happen that, you know, that you're getting hit on, you know, in a toxic way, you know, and you're frozen, you don't know what to do, you know, or somebody like is unfair, like start to insult you, and you're like, okay, what should I do, you know, like, and you really want to react, but you can't react, you know, and then you feel guilt around not being able to react. So yes, I'm very thankful for this moment that I reacted, you know, I reacted, my nervous system reacted, and yeah, and took me out of safety. Super thankful for that moment, because otherwise what could have happened, you know, the thing that could have happened was that I would probably get scammed, you know, because the funny thing is that the very next day, two other people are like approaching me in the same way. They're like, hey, I'm the security guard working next to a hotel. I saw you at the hotel, you know. But this time I'm much more prepared. I'm like, no, just go away, you know. If they have asked in another way and like, hey, my friends are doing, you know, if I got to know them much more and I could be in a state where I could believe them, you know, and I built enough trust with them, I'm like, okay, these guys are legit guys, you know. All right, and we met in a public place where I could see this traditional dance. Okay, fair enough, you know. But this was just like deception on a high level. It's just like, now I can just laugh at, but I was pretty shaken, you know. I was pretty shaken when it happened, and also some few hours later, and I contacted my other friends, you know, and you know, I have an Eritrean friend, I have a local friend here, and I'm making friends on a daily basis here, you know, who just want to help me. So listen to this nervous system, but also like do the inner work, because many times, kid you not, like 2 years ago, 4 years ago, I'll be so frozen and taken back of the situation that I wouldn't have time to react, you know. I'll just sit there and then get scammed, you know. That is what have happened to me. That is what have happened to me. So work on your trauma, you know, because the trauma and the blockages you have is stopping you. But because why is it that I'm frozen? I'm frozen because every time I got insulted by my father and screamed at, yelled at, every time somebody made fun of me, I will freeze, you know. I'll just freeze up and not being able to do anything. Yeah. So because I went into this, I went into the call, I went into this realization that I had, like, why is it that I'm so numb? Why is it that I'm frozen? Why can't I react? Because I went into that, my nervous system is just much more aware, because it released a lot of this trauma. you know, because I use hours and hours and hours on releasing this trauma, going into this thing about why is it that I'm in this state of getting frozen all the time? Why can't I just let go of it? That's it. That's it for that. Another beautiful thing was that I thanked my inner child. You know, I thanked myself that yes, I went out of it. Yes, I was aware. Yes, I protected myself. Because I love myself, you know. I don't want myself ending up in these harmful situations. But it was a hectic experience, you know, a hectic first day here in beautiful Addis Ababa. So I just wanted to put it out there, and I can only recommend you guys to work on yourself, you know, work on this freezing moment, you know. And later I'll just tell like how you can work on yourself, like how I did work on myself to be more aware.